I'm proud to yield 3 minutes to the gentlelady from South Dakota, champion of family-owned farms and businesses, Ms. Noem.
The gentlewoman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today I rise in support of H.R. 1, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017. We have worked hours, literally hundreds of hours, on this legislation, and I commend Chairman Brady and the staff of the Ways and Means Committee for all of their hard work. Mr. Speaker, we've gone through this bill line by line. I've personally fought for policies and ideas in this bill to make sure it works for families, to make sure it increases wages and creates more opportunity for folks all across America. And my goal in this was twofold. Number one, I wanted to strengthen families. Number two, I wanted to create a stronger future for America. This tax reform package puts us well on our way to achieving these goals and achieving some remarkable wins for the American people. I say this because this plan simplifies the tax code. Simplifies it to the point that most people can file their taxes on a form the size of a postcard. It also gives significantly lower rates. It dramatically expands the child tax credit. It keeps the child care credit, and it protects flexible spending benefits. These provisions for working families were important to me. My home state of South Dakota has the highest rate of working families in the nation. The moms and dads in my state aren't working just for fun. They're working to pay the bills, to provide for their families. They need money to put food on the table, to put a roof over their kids' heads. And these provisions are going to help them pay their bills, take care of their kids, go to work, and maybe, just maybe, get a little extra money that they can take their kids off for a weekend and do something fun together. That's important. And when these kids grow up, I want them to be able to find good, high-paying jobs. So I fought hard to make sure that our farmers, our ranchers, and our small businesses could thrive under this new tax code. And we got some pretty big wins for those folks. In this bill, we fully and permanently repealed the death tax, that un-American, unfair double tax. We give people better expensing tools. We drive down the rate for small businesses. If we're going to make sure that our kids can thrive, we need to create opportunities for them to make sure that they can do it right here in America. And this tax reform package lets hardworking job creators do that better. Mr. Speaker, I understand that no tax reform plan is going to be perfect in everybody's eyes. But this proposal is a strong step forward. It reflects real, sustainable policy changes that are going to let people keep more money in their pockets. I've heard from many throughout this debate who have spoken up against these tax cuts and these reforms, people who trust the government with this money more than they trust the American people. Well, Mr. Speaker, I fundamentally disagree. The American people deserve more control over their paycheck. Hard to earn that money. They've taken time away from their families to earn that money. They ought to be the ones deciding how, where, and when to spend it. So for the purposes of strengthening families and offering folks a stronger future here in America, I urge my colleagues to support H.R. 1. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With that, I yield back.